Now let's have a look at closures in Groovy. So a closure is defined as an anonymous block of code. In Groovy, it is defined within curly braces. It can have optional parameters, and the parameters are usually followed by the arrow sign. And lastly, you can have the statements that you want to execute. Closures have the ability to return a value, and they can be assigned to variables as well. If you take a look at this window, you can see that I have a closure with parameters called x and y, and the statement that is executing is return x times y. Now this closure itself will return a value, which will then assign it to a variable called multiply. And then in order to execute that closure, you call the multiply with the parameters 3 and 4. So let's take a quick look at how this works. We will use the same example, so let's create a closure and assign it to a variable called mul. The closures will have two variables called x and y, and will simply return the product of the two. In order to print that, the result will pass on two values to the closure. Once we execute the script, it will obviously multiply those two parameters, 10 and 20, and return the sum. The sum gets assigned to mul, which eventually gets printed as 200. Closures provide you with a lot of flexibility, so let's have another example. Alright, we'll create a closure again. This time, we will provide data types, so a string name and an int age. So what we want to execute here is a simple println statement that says happy birthday, and we concatenate the name variable within it. So this will concatenate the two variables that we declared, the string name and the int age. And in order to call that, I can simply call the x closure with a name and obviously an age. So if we execute this, you will get a message saying, happy birthday, whatever string you passed on as a parameter. And today you are, again, the second parameter will be passed on. The second example was just to show you how you can incorporate different data types, and you can use the same concatenation in the strings as you used before.